Hello and welcome to Hasu Hour. I'm your host Zerg. The matchup today is Protoss versus Zerg on, I think it's Orbital Shipyard. I'm not 100% actually. So the players are Golden Armada, representing the Protoss forces, spawning in the bottom of the map. And in the top of the map, we have Pig, representing the aliens, the Zerg, spawning in the top. It is a two-player map. So you see a little chat here. Red is sort of fanboying his pro gamer opponent. Pig opens up with a fast expand to his natural. A pretty solid opening strategy. And it looks like Golden Armada is going to do the same thing. Nexus first. Both players heavily focused on macro at the moment, trying to get their economies going so that they're going to be able to produce massive armies with which they can crush each other. Gateway tech now achieved for the Protoss player, or in the midst of achievement, and a spawning pool for the Zerg. Looks like Pig is going to go for a third expansion. So really trying to get that early eco. It's a lot of bases for only 1 minute 40 seconds into the game. And it's going to be interesting to see how his Protoss opponent handles all these expos. Scouting probe now in the Zerg base, and it is a good idea to send one of your initial workers out just to take a look what's going on. You can see how many bases the Zerg has made, and this will give you a heads up if your opponent is trying something a little unorthodox, such as early Baneling bust, or if you see that he hasn't expanded at all, it might indicate that you should wall off and adopt a more defensive posture, especially if you've already expanded. For his part, Pig, the Zerg pro gamer, has been doing a little scouting here with his Overlord, and you see he's getting up close and personal to the Protoss base. He is going to scout this pylon and this third base for the Protoss, so he is going to know that his opponent is also mass expoing, just like he is. And we have the first hint of combat. 4 slow lings just sort of poking across the map here. It's very unlikely that he'll be able to do significant damage with this very minor force, but he might be able to do some. And it looks like he is going to be able to take down this pylon, but no, the Mothership Core comes in with its photon overcharge and blasts the 2 Zerglings into smithereens. Their blood is left scattered across the terrain. And early Stargate tech for the Protoss player. You'll see he's got a very nice little defensive formation with his buildings and the Zealot. This does prevent the Lings from going into his base, from going around the Zealot. They do have to fight probably single file here, just the way he's got it set up. So that is a nice little trick how to hold off a significant Zergling assault. And of course the Mothership Core ready to cast Photon Overcharge on that pylon, or these 3 defensive pylons here. Double Stargate tech now for the Protoss player, and we are going to see some Phoenix pump. The Phoenix is an air-to-air air superiority unit with the ability to pick up ground units and then attack it with its air-to-air attack. So it's a pretty good unit in Protoss versus Zerg. It will enable him to pick off any stray Overlords. Might otherwise be keeping an eye on troop movement, expansions, and the like. 4th base now for the Zerg player, so continuing on this theme of expo, 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 get that economy going. He's attacking the rocks here with his queen. This is going to take quite some time, but hey, why not? The Phoenix spawning 2 overlords at the edge of the Zerg base, and it is going to be very difficult for Pig to save these overlords. He does have a couple queens capable of ground-to-air attack, also capable of a transfuse to heal the overlords, but neither with the requisite 50 energy, and both overlords are going to go down. So a nice little victory here for GoldenArmada, trading basically only shields for a couple kills. And we see that the Protoss player does have a slight supply advantage right now, although that is starting to equalize. And he is sort of trying to get some more kills with his Phoenix. What he should be doing is picking up these drones as they transfer between bases. He doesn't want to get too close to the spore colony, which does do a lot of damage against the Phoenix. But this is pretty nice micro, actually, staying just on the edge of the spore colony. He's going to get the queen now, and those 4 Phoenix are going to be able to get this queen in one pickup. So pretty nice Phoenix attack, actually, by the Protoss player. And he skies the Overlord, but they are well defended. The problem for the Protoss player is once the Zerg gets his Hydralisk tech online, these Phoenixes are going to be... Is it Phoenixes? What is the plural of Phoenix? Anyway, and more drone kills for the Protoss player as the drones are trying to transfer from base to base, but he is out of energy, and the last 2 are going to make it to their new home safely. Overseer scouting around in the Protoss base only to discover mass carrier. Obviously, Armada has been studying the games of the silver player noobs and decided to adopt their strategies. The carrier actually has a pretty neat ability now in Legacy of the Void, the Infoceptor release. So what that does is it releases all of the Infoceptors, and then the carrier can fly away, and the Infoceptors will stay there and continue fighting. So it's an excellent harass ability, and these guys really need to get their spending under control. This is maybe this is more of a casual game between good players. Blue there, I guess, actually saving up for Corruptors and Hydra, maybe waiting for that tech to get online. 4 carrier pump, phenomenal. I'm not too optimistic about this strategy. The carrier and capital ships in general don't really have much of a place in competitive StarCraft, as delightful as they can be to unleash on occasion. In the old days, actually, BC was basically mid to late game strategy for Terran versus Terran in the Brood War vanilla days. And I did see Tempest used recently in Protoss versus Terran to good effect. So maybe there is a role for carriers, Zerg, Protoss versus Zerg. But in general, you want to stick to the land units. You don't really have the time to just like tech all the way up to carrier and get some ups. And first, he needs the mothership core. And to turn it into the whatever it turns into, the mothership. He's got to upgrade this thing to a mothership. You can't have carriers without the mothership. That's like, I don't know, it's like bacon without eggs, or one thing that goes with another thing without that other thing. Looks like the Zerg player massing an attack on the Protoss fourth base, and I really don't think this is going to be successful against the carrier and mothership core defense. And the carriers now engaging with the forces, and the Corruptors targeting a carrier. One carrier goes down, but nice carrier micro here, and the Zerg attack looks like it is going to be a stunning success. As a matter of fact, all the carriers are dead, and the Hydralisk now in range of the carriers. The Mothership Core Photon Overcharge wasn't quite enough, but the released Infoceptor is actually crushing the stray Hydra forces, And that is a very clear draw. The base stands, the carrier force was mostly defeated, but it is being rebuilt here. So 5 carriers still extant. And that was actually pretty nice defense for the Protoss player. Zerg, unimpeded throughout the game, has managed to spread creep over the top section of the map. And this is going to enable him to move his units quickly to reinforce bases if the Protoss player ever does try to attack. I think he's been a little intimidated by his opponent's legendary standing and has adopted a little bit of a passive play here to his detriment. And a sneak wing. This is not going to work very well, as the Zealots still just chilling there the whole game. But the Zerg forces have attacked the Protoss 4th base again, and this attack is proving devastating for the Zerg player, as he lost so many Hydralisks and gained basically nothing. He's focused firing here on the Infoceptor, which I'm not sure I've ever actually seen anybody do. That is really a nice idea. But the carriers there really crushing the Hydralisk. And the Protoss player, I guess, trying to get to 200 before he just moves out. Still no mothership yet. Really want to see that mothership. Vital to be able to cloak all of your carriers. And the Link Force attacks the Protoss 5th base, but it's held off by cannons and the Protoss carrier reinforcement. 10 carrier army now with +2 attack on the Infoceptor. The Zerg player does not appear to have an army or any upgrades. So let's take a look at how many workers he has. 102 workers. This is a very nice economy. But it's almost like at this point, the Zerg player is going to have a problem. He's got too many workers. He can't. How's he going to field that massive army he needs in order to fight the carriers if all his supplies and drones? But a successful Speedling attack on the Protoss 5th base, and that Nexus is going to go down. So a very nice attack, and the Zerg player is just going to cement his eco advantage with that double the mineral income and 20% more gas. The both players maxed now, and we're seeing a Hydra Infestor combination in terms of composition. Probably we're going to see some Neuroparasite in order to counter the carriers, but he's not even researching it. So no, these must be fungal oriented, or maybe he's throwing down infested Terrans. And the Zerg spotting the Protoss air base. Oh my god, he is fungling the Infoceptors. I didn't even know you could do that. That is brilliant. That is just brilliant. But the Zerg now, with no real army to speak of, hastily trying to scramble a defense. And we've got to be careful with these Infoceptors. Some fungals going off, doing some damage to the carrier force. But the Zerg in really bad shape here. And he is forced to surrender. Wow, I can't believe that worked.